just gotta send it.
Alright, what's going on, guys? My name is Alex Wittig and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now today I have some fun stuff planned. The weather is beautiful outside, the sun is shining. I'm gonna open the front door, give you guys a glimpse into what we're looking at today. It's a bit later in the day, but we're getting started at a good time. 67 degrees out here in New Jersey, t-shirt weather, and it's the middle of March. Well, it's, you know, March just started, but we're gonna go outside, we're gonna do car things, and let's see what the day leads to. Literally 2 seconds into coming into the garage, I open all the garage doors, and this light comes down because it hits and it contacts right at the top there. You guys can probably see the little hook that it hooks into, and there's usually 2 barbs that come off of this, but what I'm gonna do is I've already gone ahead and I've shortened this. I cut off the 2 hook ends, and I'm gonna fold it up until it hits right here so then it can rehook and we can have it basically not hit the garage anymore. I'm like 10 minutes into this, not too bad. I've had to come up with like 20 different reiterations of this. This was originally just a V-mount with 2 hooks. I had to shorten it down, and we turned it into a V-hook within a V-hook. It's got a whole bunch of bends to it, but now it's just gonna go clip in there, and then it's gonna get nice and close up to the ceiling. So let's put this in and then let's get started. So I got the light all mounted up. It's nice and safe and secure now. I've added myself one little bit of safety, and I added a zip tie right there, and I bent the hook in, so there's no chance of it falling, which I'm super excited about. It's no longer gonna hit the garage door because it was hitting right there. And yeah, now I won't have even the chance to hit my mom's BMW X1. The Tilted TDI is right here. It's a super nice day outside, so I might drop the windows and we might go for a little cruise and talk for a little bit. Another story, I mean, you guys seem to like those videos. Yesterday's video did extremely well. All right, guys, so I figured before we did the rest of the things in the day and we lost some light, I want to go for a drive in this car. I know a lot of my videos have been about that lately, but as you guys see other YouTube channels that do car related stuff in the, you know, in basically cold climate areas, they drop videos like one between like every 2 to 3 days, maybe more sometimes, and it's because the content gets kind of strangled. And you get kind of limited when you have, you know, just 1 car, just 2 cars. So in this type of weather, if you guys don't like the driving videos, I am truly sorry. I just love driving my car so much, and I try to take these opportunities when they come. So tomorrow is going to be 40 degrees and rainy, and so is the rest of the week. So why don't we get one last driving video in, have some fun, and tell some stories. I might go fill this car up with gas. There's a lot of things I got to do today. It's just, you know, let's get to it. Let's have some fun. Let's smile, because that's all this stuff's really about. Let's check the air in the bags. What do you know? The front right leaking like a sieve. Sometimes it leaks once the whole ride. Sometimes it leaks the whole time. So guys, how's everybody's day going? Thank you for coming and joining me on my channel again. In March in New Jersey, you don't get arm out the window weather, so we've been getting it lately. I don't know if it's a good thing or it's a bad thing, but coming up on a school bus right now. But the fact that we have this clear warm weather, it's so nice. It's such a nice separation from being in the cold all the time. The car's making some kind of weird noise. It sounds like it's coming from the front. I wouldn't notice it if the window was closed, and I haven't driven this car with the window open in a couple of days, so there is a chance that, you know, it has been making this noise, but I don't like taking chances, so I kind of want to take it back home. Man, it is nice to be driving out here. I don't know what that noise is, but whatever. I got a spare tire. If something happens, something happens. There's nothing I can really do. I'm gonna enjoy this weather. I'm not gonna worry about my car falling apart or none of that. So let's send it. Let's have some fun. Let's not care. Got the window open. I'm happy. So we're going down a different road than we usually go down. Usually I try to keep to the same path because I know where all the potholes are and stuff. I know this road really well as well. The potholes aren't good. I took this road actually the other day. I go all different ways, but in all these driving videos, if you guys notice, I go on back roads just to avoid stoplights and people, because when I'm talking, you really have to focus in this car, and when you have to focus, it's hard to talk. So how about this? I'm going to describe to you guys what it's like driving a cambered car on a back road, because that's all I do. That's really all I do, and I don't care because that's all I know. I would prefer to drive this car on this back road right now than like a highway. I have this issue where my windows always drop, and sometimes it doesn't happen and sometimes it does, but we just have to change that door harness. thankfully we can at least get this window open by touching those two wires together. So guys, I'm coming up on a railroad track, and right now, back in the day, I would have just mobbed it, but I've cracked too many wheels. So I like to keep my tires at 60 PSI, and I like to keep a tire that leaks slowly at 65 PSI, just because like you know how it's gonna go. But guys, when you live in a farm area like this and you have crazy camber, whatever you want to define as crazy camber, I define crazy camber as like 10 plus, right? Because you're limiting your traction, you're making your car unsafe in other people's eyes. So yeah, it's not as safe, whatever. So a lot of my roads have been repaved, luckily, but you know, it hasn't always been this way. We've always had really bad potholes and stuff. And as I come down these streets, one thing you really have to take into consideration when you're driving a stance car like this is turning. One, because you're limited on traction, you don't want to go too fast. And two, if you have ABS, your ABS is always going to start flashing if you go around corners too fast because your suspension's stiff and all that stuff. So basically, your car is going to think that you're always losing traction. So you don't want to go around corners too fast. Your ABS is going to kick in, all that stuff. It's not really a worry of mine, but it can happen. So as I go around these corners, I'm doing about 40. I can do about 60 around this corner I'm going around right now. But honestly, when I'm taking these drives with you guys, I don't like going over 50 miles an hour because it's so like relaxing to drive this car. So, and the fact that I get to have the window open today is really nice. I've got the windsock on my mic, so that's really nice. But, you know, when you're coming around, a lot of people, when they're driving their stance cars, you know, they're just looking right in front of them, like 30 feet in front. Now, I don't know if I really touched on this base with too many of you guys, because a lot of you guys are new subscribers, but I've raced motocross for a lot of years. In motocross, there's one thing you learn real fast, and it's to look a couple hundred feet in front of you. A couple hundred feet. Now, in a car, you maybe look 1,000 feet. 1,000 feet is a little much, but I'm scanning the road all the way across this crest and around this turn. So when you're in a stance car, one, you want to look for speed bumps. Two, you want to look for stuff in the road, potholes, a whole bunch of stuff. So that's another thing to take into consideration if you have a stance car. Look at least 400 feet in front of you at all times. Always have your eyes planning out what's going to be going on. I'm looking around the bend, I'm looking through the trees. It's a lot that goes into it, but you got to keep your car safe, you got to keep you safe, and you got to keep the people around you safe. As I drive this car, there's a lot of like aspects. The person just wanted to pull out in front of me right there, and the guy honestly, as I passed by, gave me a weird look. You got to not care when you're driving cars like this. And I don't mean not care about other people, but don't be too worried about what other people think, because if you have anxiety and stuff like that, these cars really aren't the best for you. I'm not saying they aren't, because I drive, I have anxiety like everyone else, and I drive, it's whatever. But you really do want to take into consideration that you will have a lot of eyes on you, and you know, scraping and stuff like that. If you want to get your fitment nice, so when you're scraping, you always scrape the inner of your fender. But I mean, at the end of the day, you just want to realize you just gotta send it. I'm gonna turn around here and we're gonna head back home because I hear that rubbing sound on the inside. If you're gonna do pulls in your stance car, make sure it's in a safe environment. One of the things I really have to wait for in this car and look out for is people, because I don't want to be rolling coal on everyone, and I don't want people riding on my butt, so I let a lot of people go. I don't jump out in front of them. Oh, driving this car is so much fun. It puts the biggest smile on your face, and I know it's the same for every other person that has a stance car. Any type of car, honestly. It doesn't have to be a stance car, you know? It's just, you just get the biggest smiles from driving a motor vehicle. We're all the same people at the end of the day, and we all have different phases. Like, I have the stance car, but the next build that I have, like I was stating in the last video with Joey, is like, I really want to have something to have fun in, and fun can be categorized in hundreds of different ways. I love I love driving back roads, and I love driving back roads in this, but you can't exceed the speed limit of like 45 miles an hour with some of the tight turns that we have around here, bumps and stuff like that. And like, I want to have a bunch of cars, guys. Like, I want to have so many channel cars, similar like Adam LZ, but obviously I'm not really into drift. Maybe I'll get into drift at some point with a Miata or something, like basically a progressionary level car that's not expensive. But there's like so many options. Like, I'm really into Volkswagens and Audis and stuff like that, but my options are really endless. But I really do want to build another TDI. I just love this platform of vehicles. Not another Mark V, because that's just not like what I'm into right now. Like, this is my Mark V. I want a different generation. It can be a Mark IV, Mark 6, Mark 7. You know, we try to keep the budget low so we can have more builds, but also want to build something safe. So I don't really know what I want to build yet, but I do want to build something where, 1, we have harnesses, 2, we have bucket seats, 3, we could potentially put a hoop in it, maybe a cage, good handling suspension. I think that would be cool if we had a nice handling car that was super fun, super low, and it was just like, what the heck is that? Because that's what we love building. We love building stuff that's out of character for the average person, and that stuff that makes me smile. And out of character stuff is what really makes me smile at the end of the day. I just love these cars so much. I love driving these back roads. I love making these videos. And like I said before, guys, if you've made it this far, I really do appreciate it. Our content is a little stricken right now because it is winter. I'm not going to complain about that. We have so many other options. I'm driving back home. We do need to figure out what that scratching noise is in the front. You probably can't hear it because you're on the camera and the camera doesn't pick up little things. But I hear it right now. It's going tick, 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 tick. It sounds almost like a wheel weight is touching the brake, but it's nowhere near there. So it can't be a wheel weight hitting the brake caliper. So we're gonna hop back home. We're gonna check this out and. All right, guys, so I got home about half an hour ago. I jacked the car up, as you could see. I got the wheel already. I was about to take it off, but I was like, let me just spin this. And instantly, I heard the wheel rubbing on the shock. Now, usually that's not good. Last time I got the wheel rewelded, I had the back of the barrel machined, so it had clearance from the barrel to the shock. But now that it's coming in contact, we know that something is bent. So most likely my barrel is bent. That was the first thing I thought about. And then I thought about the Amazon wheel bearings that I have. Now I usually trust those, but I don't think I can because it came in contact. That means there's play. So since that there's play in there and the wheel came in contact with the shock, yes, we have a huge crack in the wheel. Here's a picture. I know it doesn't look good, but guys, that's just the way it goes. Oh, it pains me to look at it. That's just the way it goes, though, I guess. I'm pretty bummed, but I mean, we could throw a stock on there and still drive the car, so that's at least good. But man, this really stinks. The car is jacked up, and we did make it home safe, which is awesome. But it's not the welder's fault. It did crack in that same spot, which stinks. I mean, obviously, everyone knows, like, when it comes to welding wheels, that the welds aren't as not OEM, but like the wheel was when it came from the factory billet. So now that you have a weld in there, you kind of mess with the structural integrity. And aluminum is a little weird. I'm a TIG welder by trade, MIG and stick, but yeah, so I know a lot about welding, and that weld was a little bit sketchy. So lots of people get their wheels welded. I don't recommend it. I did it to both my wheels. I'm hoping that the back wheel holds up. Sorry, I had the hiccups, but guys, just know that that's just the way it goes. And I mean, I'm not telling you not to weld your wheel because I have crazy camber. My wheel came in contact with the shock where it shouldn't have, but it sucks that it came in contact and the previous weld had cracked. I mean, I'm gonna have to get a new barrel now. I'm not gonna get that rewelded. Who knows? MK Tommy might hook me up, but man, this stinks. So I mean, there's only one thing to make me happy, and it's gonna be I'm gonna pull the car back in the garage and we're gonna hop on the BMX bike. So we're gonna continue this day on. The car's back in the garage, safe and sound, out of the way. Like I said, the tire actually isn't leaking any air, which is sick because as soon as I hopped in the car before, it was already making the noise, and I checked it before I left. Every time before I drive the car, I always check all tires. They were all sitting up 60 psi, which was perfect. But now she's in the garage. We got the bike here, so let's set this thing up. Might even use the jack as a little you know, feature. So let's see it. Let's have some fun. Got everything set up. Let's hit it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know it might not have been your style, but it was a whole bunch of fun. Super warm outside. So on that note, guys, I'm gonna wrap up today's video. I'm gonna keep riding my bike, and I'm actually gonna go on Craigslist right now, probably within the next hour, and I'm gonna look for the next car because we need another car. We're gonna get that wheel repaired, but I want to have another car before the wheel gets repaired. So guys, keep smiling, keep your day going. Don't let anyone put you down. And Big J, how you doing? I'm gonna wrap the video up here, guys. So everybody, from me and Big J, peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.